natin sa additional material for assignment number 3, audit of inventory. So basically, inventories, alam naman natin yan, basic. So ito, konting recap lang, di ba, kung ano yung inventories. So counting for inventories, finished goods, work in process, raw materials, recognition. When they meet the definition of inventory, legal title is obtained by the buyer from the seller. Diyan ka lang magre-record. Transfer of title. When is legal title to the inventory passed? When possession over the goods is transferred. Pero may mga exception. Lalo na yung mga, di ba? Yung control over the economic benefits is transferred pero yung physical possession hindi. Gano yung FOB shipping point, di ba? Yung consigner consignment. Inventories bought under bill and hold. So, physical possession, transferred but not over control over economic benefits, yung consignee na consignment. So, take yung mga basics of hard, diba, sa inventories. Ito naman, diba, pag perpetual and periodic. Ang perpetual, ano yun? Ibig sabihin, kada galaw ng inventory, recorded siya, and iba rin yung pag-record sa kanya. Gaya nakita dito, inventory. And sa perpetual, ang physical count at the end of the year is considered to be in internal control. Sa periodic naman, wala ka halos tawag dito, ito yung naman yung recording, di ba? Hindi siya ganun ka-stricto pagdating sa perpetual, kasi periodic, napaka-chill. Then yung counting mo ng physical count at the end of the year, wait lang. Okay. At the end of the period, ang ginagawa lang, it is considered to be the counting ng ending inventory mo. So yan, di ba? Alam niyo naman yung difference ito. Basic na lang man to sa inyo. Measurement inventory, cost of purchase, cost of conversion, other cost of purchase, di ba? Cost, quick definition, alam niyo ito, yung FIFO, LIFO, weighted average, inventory estimation, si gross profit, pati si retail method. Ito naman sa kanila lang si inventory. But anyways, let's go to the assignment. Saan lang yung assignment? Saan to sila guys? Sa left ba? Sa right? Sa right. So, assignment. So, saan yun? Okay. So, ito. Problem number 1. So, on January 1, 2007, ang Tigulang Corporation engaged the services of an independent certified public accountant to perform an audit for the year ended December 31, 2006. So, the company uses a periodic system, inventory system. So, the CPA did not observe the inventory count na ginawa or kinonduct ng end of the year. So, as a result, a special examination was made of the inventory record. So, the FS prepared by the company, which are the uncorrected, showed the following. So, itong ending inventory, accounts receivable, accounts payable, sales, net purchases, and yung pre-tax income. So, the following data were found during your audit. So, mahaba sila, di ba? Basically, lang gagawin natin, diretso na dito. Diba? Kada isang item, okay, yung adjustment niya. Tubig mo na. So, ito, basahin natin. So, merchandise received on January 2, 2007 na may cost of 800 pesos was recorded on December 31, 2006. So, na-receive nung January 2, pero na-record nung December 31. Paano natin malalaman kung saan siya? An invoice on hand showed that the shipment was FOB Supplies Warehouse on December 31, 2006. Now, because the merchandise was not on hand nung nagkaroon ng inventory counting, so hindi siya nasama. So, anong gagawin natin? Kung considering that this is an FOB supplier, so FOB shipping point yan, so, na-ship siya on December 31, 2006. So, nagkaroon na ng transfer of ownership dyan. Kahit wala pang transfer of possession, may transfer of title na. So, since hindi siya nakasama sa ending inventory counting, o isama mo. Kaya dito, 800 lang. Yeah? 800. Dito siya. Ito yung sa taas, mga unadjusted balance ng ending inventory, AR, AP, sales, net purchase, and pre-tax income. So, yan. So, yan dito. 800 siya. Dagdag sa ending inventory. So number 2, merchandise that cost 18K was excluded from the inventory. So bakit? And related sale for 23,000 was recorded. Pero the goods had been segregated in the warehouse for shipment. Kaso ang problema, there was no contract for sale. Pero a tentative order by phone lang ang nangyari. So ang nangyari dyan, nag-record ka na ng inventory. Tinanggal mo na siya. Tapos yung related sale niya, ni-record mo na rin. Ni-segregate na sa warehouse pero walang actual contract of sale. So ibalik mo yan kasi walang sale na nangyari eh. Walang recognized sale. So with that, yung 18K na in-exclude mo kasi akala mo nagkaroon ng sale, ibalik mo. Yan. Balik mo. Ito naman, nag-record ka na ng sale, di ba? Pero wala naman talaga nangyaring sale. So yun, tanggalin mo siya dito sa sales mo and sa AR. Ngayon next, merchandise that cost 10K was out on consignment for Valentine Distributing Company and was excluded from ending inventory. Now the merchandise was recorded as a sale in the amount of 25K when shipped to Valentine. Ito, nagkamali ka dito. Kasi akala mo, di ba, pinakonsign mo lang yung goods mo. Ikaw yung consignor. Pinakonsign mo lang yung goods mo kay Valentine. So, tas hindi siya na-record sa ending inventory mo. So, kailangan mo siyang isama. Consignment yan eh. Oo, walang transfer of title dyan, walang transfer of ownership. Possession, yes, na transfer kasi consignment yan. Pero walang transfer of title. So, ngayon, nagka-problema pa. Akala mo sale yung ginawa mo, kaya ka na nag-record ng sale, consignment yan. O, wag ganun. So, ibalik mo yan. Tanggalin mo yan sa AR mo and sa sales mo. Kasi hindi naman sale consignment yan. So, dito sa number 4, a sealed packing case containing a product costing 900 was in ang Tigulang's shipping room when the physical inventory was taken. So it was included in the inventory because it was marked hold for customer shipping instruction. Investigation revealed that the customer signed a purchase contract dated December 18, 2006, but the case was shipped and the customer billed on January 10, the next period. So a sale for 1.5 was recorded on December 31, 2006. So wala pang transfer dito. And goods na nasama yung inventory sa physical count, so wala nang adjustment kasi proper. Pero nagkaroon ng recording on December 31, 2006. So dapat i-revert mo yan, reverse mo yan. So yun, kaya dito tanggal sa accounts receivable, tanggal sa sales. Number 5, a special item fabricated to order for a customer was finished and in the shipping room on December 31, 2006. Ngayon, the customer has inspected and it was satisfied. The customer was billed in full on that sale in the amount of 5K. Now, the item was included in inventory at cost 1,000 pesos because it was only shipped on January 4, 2007. Now, since this is a special case, fabricated to order for a customer, and the customer is satisfied, the customer is billed in full, and at the sale, the amount of 5K, so hindi na siya proper. Na isama pa, sa 2006. Kaya dito tinanggal na sa inventory. Merchandise costing 15.6K was received on December 28, 2006. The goods were excluded from inventory and a purchase was not recorded. So yun. The auditor located the related papers in the hands of the purchasing the indicated on consignment from Roslyn Company. So tamang-tama. Kasi nga, consignee ka dito. Yes, you have the possession, but you don't have the title over the goods. Wala kang ownership dyan. So hindi proper na isama mo sa iyong inventory. Kaya tama yung nangyari dito. Excluded sa inventory and a purchase was not recorded kasi nga consignee ka. Possession ka lang meron, hindi title. Possession ka lang meron. Tama. Hindi title. Kaya dito, wala siya nilagay. So, merchandise costing 2K was received on January 8, 2007 and related purchase invoice recorded on January 9. Now, the invoice showed that the shipment was made on December 29. Pero tingnan nyo, it is FOB destination. So, na-receive siya ng January 8. Purchase invoice recorded on January 9. The merchandise was excluded from the inventory. Okay, walang mali. Goods lang, kaya 0 dito. Walang adjustments. Number 8, merchandise that cost 6K was excluded from the ending inventory and not recorded as a sale for 7,500 on December 31. So the goods had been specifically segregated according to the terms of the contract. Ownership will not pass until actual delivery. So yun, ibig sabihin FOB destination. So excluded siya from the inventory counting. So dapat include pa rin siya. Ownership will not pass until actual delivery. So yan, dagdag mo, balik mo inventory. So number 9, merchandise that cost 15K was included in the ending inventory. The related purchase has not been recorded. The merchandise that cost 15K was included in the ending inventory. The related purchase has not been recorded. The goods has been shipped by the vendor FOB destination. Okay, FOB destination. And the invoice was received on December 30, 2006. However, the goods was only received on January 5, 2007. So, tiyan mo, FOB destination na receive next period pero nasama sa ending inventory. Hindi. Tanggalin mo. Hindi proper. Wala man na ng boses. Number 10. Merchandise in transit that cost 7K was excluded from the inventory because it was not on hand. Now, pero the shipment from the vendor was FOB shipping point. So, shipping point yan. Diba? The purchase was recorded on December 29, 2006 when the invoice was received. So, since FOB shipping point, diba? Tapos before the year end, sama mo. 11. Merchandise in transit that cost 13K was excluded from inventory because it had not arrived. So, although the invoice had arrived, the related purchase was not recorded by December 31, 2006. So, the merchandise FOB shipping point by the vendor. So, yung inventory hindi na-record. Yung purchase hindi na-record. Pero shipping point yan. So, dapat mag-record ka. Hence, dagdag inventory mo, 13K. And yung accounts payable and net purchases. Kasi nga, FOB shipping point yan eh. Before the year end. Sama pa yan. Title has been transferred. And lastly, merchandise that cost 8K was included in the inventory or the ending inventory because it was on hand. The merchandise had been rejected. Oh boy. Because of incorrect specifications and was being held for return to the vendor. So, the merchandise was recorded as purchased on December 26, 2006. So, yan na. Yes, nasama sa ending inventory. Na-record yung purchase. Pero, parang ikaw, rejected. Yeah? So, wag mong isama. Yeah? Wag mong isama. So, tanggalin mo sa ending inventory. Diba? Reverse mo sa accounts payable and net purchase mo. So with that said, ito yung mga questions, di ba? The adjusted balance of inventory at year end. So add mo lang 102,800. Para naman sa ating AR, yung adjusted balance, add mo lang 10,500. Para sa ating accounts payable, 13,800, 35. Para sa ating sale at year end, di ba? Ito, 350, 500. Sa ating adjusted net purchases, diba? Bang. Okay, 165. And sa ating pre-tax income, 27,300. Diba? No sweat. Let's go to number 2. Ito naman sa number 2. Mahaba-haba rin to si number 2. But anyways, journal entry lang to. Madali lang to. So, ito yung the following accounts below are included in the adjusted trial balance ng WhatsApp company as of December 31, 2006. So, ito yung cash, AR, inventory, accounts payable, and accrued expenses. So, during your audit daw ng company, you noted that WhatsApp held its cash book open after year-end Bah, makala niya wai siya. Alam niyo, 'di ba? Ito yung mga style na kung saan gusto mong pagandahin yung FS mo for the current year, 'di ba? So ang gagawin mo, 'di ba? Hindi mo pa kino-close yung books mo para yung mga recordings mo as of January of the next year masasama for the previous year. Mga style, nakalimutan ko anong term yung ginagamit sa ganitong fraudulent act. Pero ito yung mga style eh. So, pag mag-audit kayo, be careful sa mga books na hindi pa nila kino-close. Kasi style yan para pagandahin yung previous year. So, in addition to your audit, reveal the following. Your audit reveal the following. So, starting adjust natin sa journal entries natin to. So, ito sa number 1, receipts for January 27, 2007 of 163,650 were recorded in the December 2006 cash receipt book. However, may problema. Itong buong 163,650, ni-record niya buong-buo lahat cash. Ang problema, 90,025 pesos doon, yun lang yung cash sales. Yung 73,625 represents collections from customer. So, dapat may proper distinction tayo. So, yun, proper distinction. So, yung cash sales, 90,025, dito yan, proper. Ito, sales, cash, yeah. Ito naman, yeah, receipts of books, cash sales. Ito naman, di ba, baliktad din eh. AR to, dapat i-proper yung recording. So, dito kaya, tag dito, debit AR, kasi hindi niya record eh. Diretso sa nag-ano sa cash books niya. So, yun, debit AR, 775, represents collection from customer, kaya dito, 63,625, discount, 3,875. Diba? Kasi nga, net of 5% discount. So, ito yung proper recording. Diba? Nag-adjust tayo dito. Next is yung payment to suppliers made on January 2007 in the amount of 93,100. Ngayon, on which naka-discount ka in the amount of 3,100. Now, these were included in the December 2006 check register. Hindi ko na space dito yung number 3. So, yan lang sila. Kayo number 3 dapat na press kong enter para next So, anyways, number 2. Yun, nawala tuloy tayo. So, 93,000, discount taken. So, yun. Nagbayad ka na. Cash. Yeah. Loko-loko talaga to siya, no? Hindi niya proper recording. So, kailangan mo mag-adjust. So, cash, debit, 90, purchase discount, 3,100, accounts payable, 93. Sir, bakit parang nire-reverse yun? Di ba dapat since nagkaroon na ng bayaran, di ba dapat tinaayos na yan? Ang ginagawa natin dito ngayon, kasi hindi niya na-record ng maayos. Basta lang siya naglagay ng entry sa kanilang cash book register. Di ba? So, since hindi niya na-record proper yung transaction, hindi record natin properly. Kaya ganun nangyari dito. Diba? Nagkaroon ng cash sales. Yeah? Yeah? Dito rin. Hindi na-record yung AR. Yeah? Dito rin sa number 2, hindi na-record. Meron palang payment sa suppliers. Diba? Pero hindi na-record na may pala ng payment. Diba? So, number 3, merchandise inventory is valued at 1,512,500 prior to any adjustment. So, the following information has been found. Ano itong boses ko? Has been found relating to certain inventory transactions. Gaya nito, goods valued at 68,750 are on consignment with a customer. However, these goods are not included. Diba? Are not included in the 1,512,500 inventory figure. So, the assumption is nangyari? Yeah? Para ni-record mo yung cost of sale, nag-credit ka ng inventory. So, with that said, mag-reverse ka. Kaya dito, inventory 68,750, cost of sales, credit 68,750. Letter B, Goods costing 54,375 were received from a vendor on January 4, 2007. Now, the related invoice uh, Now, the related invoice was received and recorded on January 6, 2007. Now, the goods were shipped on December 31 FOB shipping point. Pero nag-record ka on the next period na. So, dapat isama mo siya for the current period. Hence, dito, inventory 54,375. Ngayon, kahit itong yung ito kasing nasa answer sheet eh. Kahit di mo na gawin to, di ba? Huwag mo na isama to. Yeah? Diretso ng ganyan. Tama pa rin ang answer mo. Yeah? Pero, kasi kung titingnan nyo dito oy. Bape 6. Di ba? Ganyan naman ang recording ka simple eh. Yeah? So, wala ang issue dyan. So, anyways, letter C, goods costing 159,375 were shipped on December 31, 2006 and were delivered to the customer on January 2007. Excuse me po. The term of the invoice were FOB shipping point. So, dapat, na-ship siya ng December 31, 2006. Na-deliver lang January 3. So, the goods were included in the 2006 ending inventory even though the sale was recorded. So, diyan, nagmali ka. Dapat i-proper mo yan. Di ba? Yung sale na record mo properly, walang problema. Pero yung recording ng goods, since FOB shipping point yan, ba? Na-deliver mo nung December 31 pa. So, dapat kasama siya sa current year. I-record mo siya sa current year. Kaya dito, goods lang. Walang problema. Debit cost of sale or cost of goods sold, credit inventory. Sa 3D naman, a 45,500 shipment of goods to a customer on December 30, terms FOB destination are not included in the year-end inventory. The goods cost 32,500 and were delivered to the customer on January 2007. So, the sale was properly recorded in 2007. So, okay, goods. Ang issue, FOB destination. Ngayon, yung sale na-record properly on 2007. So, wala tayong problema dyan. FOB destination. However, ang problema, FOB destination siya, pero hindi siya nasama sa year-end inventory. FOB destination, di ba? Ang natatransfer lang ang title sa goods upon delivery. So, yung goods dapat nasa iyo pa rin. Kaya dito, proper siya. So, letter E. The invoice for goods costing 43,750 was received and recorded as a purchase on December 31, 2006. So, the related goods shipped FOB destination were received on January 4 and thus were not included in the count of the physical inventory. So, dito naman baliktad. Yung physical inventory, yung physical inventory, recorded as purchase, yung physical inventory, proper naman. Yeah? Kasi nga, FOB destination siya. So, goods hindi mo na-record. Pero yung purchase niya, ni-record mo. So, i-reverse mo na lang yun. Yeah? Reverse mo na lang yun. Kaya hindi to. But anyways, add nyo na lang. Di ba? Cash. So, saan ang calcu natin? So, cash. Ano yung beginning? Add nyo. 240, 800. So, 240, 800. Kaya calcu nyo. 240, 800. Or yung calcu na lang dito sa computer. Ba? 240, 800. Beginning. Credit. Minus 73. 625 minus 90 025 plus 90 meron pa ba? Wala na sila lang, no? 167 150 letter D. Okay, goods, letter D. So, next is yung accounts receivable. So, ano yung beginning accounts receivable? 563. Clear natin. 563. 500. So, tingin tayo dito. Since hindi na-record yung accounts receivable for number 1, so dapat i-record siya. So, plus 77. 500. Accounts receivable. Yan lang, no? Accounts receivable, no? Charan. So, yun. Add mo lang 641. Tama ba? O, 641. Letter B. Next is merchandise inventory. So, magkano ang beginning? 1, 5, 1, 2, 500. Inventory. Ito add 6, 8, 750. 54, 375. Plus 32, 500. Meron din pa dito yung 159, 375. Okay, tama ba? 1508770. O, ito, letter B. Tama. Next, accounts payable. 1050 to 50. So, ano mga accounts payable natin dito? Taran. Ito, plus 93, 100. Oy. 93, 100. Ano pa ba? Plus 54, 375. And minus 43 kasi debit 43, 750. So, 1153, 975, 1153. Ito, working capital. Oh, tatandaan nyo pa yung sa MAS. Di ba? Ano yung working capital? Current assets minus current liabilities. So, yun. Current assets mo. Magkano? Cash, 167. 150. Plus, 641. AR. Merchandise inventory. 1508. 750. O, yan yung ano mo. Current assets mo. O, divided by the current liabilities. Paano ba ito separate yun? Tandaan ko lang. 2316900. Yeah. Paano yun? Accounts payable mo is paano yung separate sila? Kalimutan ko yung paano ito. Anyways, 2316900. Tandaan na lang natin. 2316900, 2316900. So, 1153 975. Hindi lang yun yung current liabilities natin ito. Ito rin, accrued expense, 107,750. Plus, uy, ba't to? Ano nangyari? Yawa. 1153 975 plus ano nangyari? May napindot ata. Chicken yung pala. 1153,975 plus 107,750. So 1261725. 1261725. 1261725. So ano yung isa? 2361 900 minus 1261725. Ay, nagmali ata ako sa pag-add, no? Kasi, nagmali Then, baliktad. 2316,900 minus 1261725. Boom, ito. Letter C. And ano yung current ratio? Ano yung niya? Ano yung kanyang formula, 'di ba? Current assets divided by current liabilities. Ang working capital, current assets minus current liabilities. Ang current ratio, current assets divided by current liabilities. So yan, divide mo lang siya, no? Saan na yun? Sinulat ko lang sana dito sa calculus, no? Ewa. 2316900 minus or divide 2316900 divided by 1261725. Ito 1.86, so ito si 1.84. Haba niya, no? Anyways, yan. So problem 3 tayo para matapos na. Okay, dito tayo sa problem number 3. So masakit ng boses ko. Tapusin natin to. Parang relationship nyo. So nag-engage ka na naman ng isang audit of the financial statements ng Delta Variant Corporation for the year ended October 31, 2018 and have observed the physical inventory count on that date. Now, all merchandise received up to and including October 30, 2018 have been included sa physical count. Take note, October 30, 2018. So the following list of invoices is for purchases of The following list of invoices is for purchases of merchandise and are entered in the purchases journal for the months of October and November 2018 respectively. So before tayo pumunta sa problems, ito muna. No perpetual inventory records are maintained. So, and the physical inventory count is to be used as basis for the financial statement. So, anong ginagamit nila dito? Periodic, di ba? Periodic. Now, take note of this. Take note of this. Yeah. Diba? Itong invoice date. Ito yung mga terms nila. FOB destination, shipping point, and date of merchandise. Now, take note, mahalaga tong i-consider. O, diba? Para malaman kung kailan nagkaroon ng title o ownership over the goods. Yeah, remember that. Excuse me po. So, observe natin. Destination, okay, proper sa August. Ito, August. Proper sa destination, na-receive sa October proper. Ito naman, October, ito proper. Ito naman sa 39. October 25, destination. Pero, itong problema. Destination siya, na-invoice on October 25, pero na-receive siya noong November 3. So, proper ba siyang isama sa October? Ito naman, destination, November 4. Uy, ang invoice, November 4. Destination, pero na-receive siya sa October. Yeah? Ito naman, proper na to sila. Yeah? Shipping point, October 26, 30, ito rin. Destination, 21, October 13 receive. Destination, 29, October 13 receive. So, dito naman sa November, observe rin natin. Destination, invoice 29, pero this November na receive. Ito, destination, invoice 30, pero October 30 na receive. October 31, destination. Pero sa November na pasok. Bakit siguro yan? Kasi tingnan nyo, October 30 yung physical count. So baka hindi na ano. Anyways, ito naman, shipping point. October din dapat. Pero nasa November na record. Nasama. Ito, shipping point. November 2, na-receive. Saan din ito isama, di ba? Ito, shipping point. October 23, yung invoice, November 31 dumating, pero shipping point siya. Ito rin, shipping point rin. November 31 na dating, so hindi sila nasama sa physical count. Destination, sakto, November 3 siya. Okay, let's go to number 1. So, what adjusting entry is necessary for the October 25 invoice? It pertains to this one. To. Bakit? Kasi destination siya. Ang invoice na record noong October 25. Nasama sa October 2018. However, the date that the merchandise was received was on November 3. Pero sa October siya nasama, destination. So, dapat sa November siya sinasama, hindi for the month of October. Kasi ang adjusting entry necessary for October 25 invoice. Kaya dito, ganyan na nangyari. Yeah? 3,900 siya. So, debit, accounts payable, 39, purchases, credit, 39. Yeah? Purchase ang ginagamit pagdating sa periodic, di ba? You can still remember. Purchases. Purchases. Kasi pag sa, perpetual, di ba? Inventory na yung lahat. Kasi nga, kada movement ng inventory, record tayo. So, dito, purchases, yeah? Credit purchases 39. Kasi nga, hindi siya for October. Para sa November. Kasi destination, na-receive November 3. Sinama mo sa October? Hindi. Sa November dapat. And next is, so ang correct answer dyan, ito, 39, letter A. Next answer is, what adjusting entry is necessary for the month of November for invoice? November for invoice. Ito naman, kita nyo, destination, invoice, November 4. Pero, destination siya na-receive on October 9. October 9. Yeah? Saan yun? Meron bang adjustment? Destination, November 4 yung invoice, pero na-receive on October 29, kaya nasama sa October 18, 2018. So, may adjustment pang gagawin? Wala. Nothing. Yeah? No adjusting entry. Bakit? Kasi proper naman eh. October siya dumating. Kahit na destination yan, October pa rin siya dumating. Yeah? October pa rin siya dumating. So, proper lang kasama sa October. Number 3. The journal entry to adjust the purchases account includes A. Ito na. Ito naman, kaya kailangan nyo munang i-observe yung problem, yung given. Yeah? So, paano na mangyari dyan? Ito na yung mangyari. Yeah? Sana yun? Ito yung una nating ginawa, di ba? Para sa 39. Ngayon, di ba, chinek natin dito. May mga transactions na kung saan dapat, or mga inventories na kung saan hindi sila dapat for November, pero dapat napasok sila ng October. Kasi kung titingnan mo yung details, dapat pang October talaga sila. Yeah? Ano yan? Diba? Ito, destination, November 4. Hindi. Goods na sa November. Ito, destination, pero October 31. Ang problema, diba? Sabi natin kanina, October 30 yung naging date ng physical count. So, kahit na dumating siya on the month of October, hindi siya nasama sa physical count. Kasi, October 31 the next day, dumating. So, ito, alam yung kasama tong si 4,850. Yeah? Kaya dito yan siya. Ito, 4,850. Next, shipping point. Sa November siya nasama. Invoice, October 27. Na-receive, October 30. So, dapat isama rin dito. Next is shipping point. November 2 ang invoice, pero October 30. 7,220, sama mo rin dito. Yeah? Andyan sila. Next, shipping point, October 23. Na-receive, November 31. Isasama mo sa October? Kahit na-receive na ng November 31? Sama mo. Shipping point eh. Tapos obviously, October pa lang na-ship na. Kasi invoice, October 23. So, sama mo. Ito rin, 12,820 yan. Ito, 4,200. Shipping point, October 23. Pareho silang So, November 31 na-receive. Sama mo pa rin. Kasi obviously, before the end of October, na-send na. Shipping point eh. So, dito siya. So, add nyo. Yeah? 45,510. So, for the month of October, debit purchases 45,510. Credit accounts payable 45,510. Bakit? Ano tong meaning ng adjusting na ito? Kasi tingnan nyo. For this month of October, etong si October 25, hindi yan kasama. Destination, November 3. Hindi yan kasama for the month of October. Kung sisilipin naman si month of November, may mga transactions na dapat nasama sa October. Diba? And ito na yun sila. Diba? Ito na yun sila. So, kaya nagkaroon ng adjusting for the month of October to. Bakit yan malaga? Ito, The journal entry to adjust the purchase account should include A. So, inet mo na lang to sila. Kasi ito yung mga adjustment eh. Inet mo na lang. So, paano ninet? Di ba? So, mas mataas yung purchases. Di ba? Purchases. And AP. Ito yung net nila. Kung kahit hindi mo ito gawin, pero ito yung net nila. So, saan ang calcu? Yun. So, purchases, 45, 510, minus 39. So, that is 41,610. So, obviously, 41,610 yan dito. 41,610. So, yan. So, the journal entry to adjust the purchases should include A. Ito, net debit to purchases in the amount of 41,610. Kasi ninet na natin kasi may purchase dito, may purchase dito. So, inet mo. So, net 46,610. Yeah? Number the net adjustment to accounts payable. Number 4, the net adjustment to accounts payable increase 46,610. Kasi dito rin. Ba? And delta variance October 31 physical inventory should be increased by, ito na. Magkanong increase? Magkanong increase? Now take note, ito lang mga problema natin, di ba? Yung 39 and yung mga dito. Now take note, itong si 39, yeah, November 3 pa siya na-receive destination. So obviously, hindi siya nasama dito, kaya wala dito. Ngayon, ito naman sila, yeah, take note, di ba sinabi natin, in-emphasize natin na October 30, 2018. So, ito, destination, wala yan 10. Ito, destination, October 31. October 30 ang counting. So, isama mo yan. 48,850. Naglag saglit yun. Kala ko ano nangyari. Ano pala. So, 48,850. So, ito shipping point, October 30. So, alam nyo, nasama yan. October 30. Shipping point, October 30. Nasama rin yan. Ito, shipping point. Shipping point. Ito, alam nyo dito nasama. Kaya dito si 12,820 and si 4,200. So, add nyo na lang. Yeah? 31,870. So, yan yung magiging increase sa physical inventory at October 31. Okay? So, ito. So, diba? Basic, no sweat. Lastly. Ito, bigla sumakit lalamunan ko. Problem number 4. Ito, madali na to si number 4. Pero, madali siya. Maikli lang, pero mapapagamit ka ng utak. So, X mo na mismo na, incorporated, reported income before taxes in the amount of, ito, nagmaliin tayo dito. Kasi ito, 2018-2019, ang nilagay ko dito, 2016-2017, ito na lang gamitin. 2018 to, ito 2019. Klaro ba? Panayawa na patabayin natin. Ito. Goods. Okay. So, yun. So, X mo na mismo na, incorporated reported income before taxes in the amount of 842,650 para sa 2018 and 960,350 for 2019. So the company takes its annual physical count of inventory every December 31. So your audit revealed the following information. So the price used for the 1,500 units included in the 2018 ending inventory was 109. Pero yung correct cost pala should be 190. So, it will affect your net income. So, goods costing 23,600 were received from vendor on January 5, 2019. Ngayon, kahit January 5, 2019 siya na-receive, the shipment was made on December 26, 2018 and it was as FOB shipping point. Shipping point siya. Yung purchase na record properly on 2018 but the shipment was not included in the 2018 inventory. So, may effect yan. So, letter C. Merchandise costing 64,750 was sold to a customer on December 29, 2018. Okay, X mo na mismo na was asked by the customer to keep the merchandise until January 2019 when the customer would come and pick it up. So, bill and hold siya. Yeah? Bill and hold sale. Nabenta mo na pero pina-keep mo na sa'yo. Although the sale was properly recorded in 2018, the merchandise was included in the ending inventory. No, take note, bill and hold yan. Kahit nasa iyo yung possession, the title was already passed. Yeah? So, letter D. A supplier sold merchandise valued at 14,000 to X mo na mismo na incorporation. The merchandise was FOB shipping point on December 29, 2018. So, sakto na-deliver siya. May possession ka na yan. May title ka na yan kahit walang possession. And was received by X mo na mismo na on December. Sakto. Within the year rin na-receive. The purchase, however, the purchase was recorded on the following year. So, 2019. And the merchandise was not included in the 2018 ending inventory. Now, may effect siya. Pero, may tricky part dyan. So, ito mga question. What is the adjusted income before taxes para sa 2018 and para sa 2019? So, ganito yan. Klaro na dito yan. Ngayon, take note of this. Yeah? Take note of this. Ito ang ating unadjusted reported income before taxes. Ngayon, itong lesson na to, basically galing to sa IA3. Di ba? Sa mga adjustments sa IA3. Yung mga errors, etc. So, take note. And ano magiging effect niya sa net income. And titirahin kayo sa basics na to. So, basically ganito. Ang una, the price used for 1,500 which units included in the 2018 ending inventory was 109. The correct cost should be 190 per unit. So, ito yun. Transposition error, unit cost. 190 is 81 times 1,500. Sir, bakit dito? Positive. Dito, nag-negative siya. Positive ang effect sa net income. Dito, negative. Ganito yan. Basic ng accounting natin. Di ba? Paano to? Di ba? Pinag-usapan ending inventory. Take note of this. Di ba? Yung basic. Beginning inventory plus purchases plus ending inventory equals to cost of goods sold or cost of sales. Now, take note. This is for 2018. Di ba? Ayusin natin. This is for 2018. Ito naman, so yun, ito yung formula, di ba? Para malaman yung cost of goods sold. Or kalimutan to. Ito naman sa 2019, same lang, BI, purchases, EI, and cost. Now, paano to na-affect ang ating net income? Di ba? Kasi tingnan nyo, di ba? 1 to 1, positive. 1 to 1, nag-negative. Bawas sa net income. So, anong reason yan? So, take note. May 1,500 units ka. Ang kanilang price, 109. Pero yun pala dapat 1,190 per unit. So, ibig sabihin, yung value ng ending inventory mo for 2018, mag-i-increase kasi from being 19, naging 190. Yeah? So mag-i-increase to. Yeah? Kasi value ng ending inventory mo for 2018, 109, naging 190, mag-i-increase to. Ngayon, tatanungin kita. Pag nag-increase tong ending inventory mo, since siya yung negative, siya yung nambabawas dito, anong magiging effect niyan sa cost of goods sold mo? Anong magiging effect niyan sa cost of sales mo? Yeah, basically. Yeah, ganito yan. From being 80, naging 20. Pag ito naging kesang 80 to 90, ano meaning yan? Naging 10 na lang. So, ang cost of goods sold mo, ang cost of sales mo, bababa. 'Di ba? Bababa 'yan. Bababa. 'Di ba? So, pag nabababa 'yan, ano mangyayari sa revenue mo or sa income? 'Di ba? Paano sinosolve ang income? 'Di ba? Sales revenue minus cost of goods sold, yeah, COGS or cost of sales. So ito gross revenue mo, gross sales, o 'di ba? Pag ito bumaba, ang gross sales mo, ang gross income mo tataas. Kaya dito nakalagay 121,500 increase sa iyong reported income for 2018. Yan yung effect ng pag-increase ng iyong ending inventory. Bumaba ang cost of sales. Pag bumaba ang cost of sales, tataas ang iyong income. Tataas ang iyong revenue. Hence, positive dito. Nga sir, gets na namin. Pero ano nangyari sa 2019? Bakit yan nag-decrease? Take note, ang ending inventory ng previous year, yan yung magiging beginning inventory ng next year. Diba? Yan yung magiging beginning inventory ng next year. So, itong ending inventory na to, ito na siya. Beginning inventory na siya ng 2019. So, yan. Beginning inventory ng 2019. And with that said, nagkaroon ng correction, di ba? So, ito, mag-i-increase to. From being 109 pesos, naging 190 per unit na. So, yan. Nag-increase ang beginning inventory mo. Diba? Kasi kung ano yung ending inventory ng previous year, yan yung beginning ng current year, ng next year. So, pag nag-increase yan ang beginning inventory mo, anong effect yan sa cost of sales? Mag-i-increase, diba? O, nag-increase ang cost of sales, nag-increase ang cost of goods sold. Anong magiging effect sa iyong revenue? Anong magiging effect sa iyong income? Pag nag-increase ang cost of sales, pag nag-increase ang cost of goods sold, bababa, di ba? Hence, negative. O, huwag niyong kalimutan yung connections ng mga accounts. Di ba? So, yan. Di ba? Titirahin kayo sa basics. Di ba? Kasi basic lang to, di ba? Connect lang the relationship between the accounts. Pero big deal siya pag i-apply na. Same rin yan dito sa goods of purchase shipping. Di ba? Kasi ending rin yan siya eh. O, di ba? Ano sabi? Receive on January 5 pero shipping point on December 26. So, hindi siya nasama sa the purchase was recorded in 2018, so goods ka doon, walang problema. Pero, hindi siya nasama sa 2018 ending inventory. Kaya dito sinama siya. O, walang problema dyan. Same yung logic rin dito kasi magiging part din siya ng ending inventory. Yeah? So, same logic. Ngayon, dito tayo sa goods, so sa letter C. Merchandise costing 64.70, 750. To a customer December 29. Bill and hold, diba? Bill and hold. So, before pa lang ng end of the year, the title over the goods is already transferred. Yeah? Possession ka lang meron pero hindi na ikaw yung may-ari. Parang EXO. So, yun. So, kaya dito, ang problema, although the sale was properly recorded, the merchandise was still included in inventory even though you don't have ownership, you don't have title over that. So in that case, opposite ang nangyari. Yeah? Hindi na siya part ng ending inventory mo. Yeah? Hindi na siya part ng ending inventory mo. Naging part na siya ng cost of goods sold, cost of sales. Yeah? Interchangeably naman si cost of goods sold pati cost of sales. Kapag goods ang kasi kung service yan, iba na yung ng cost of sales doon. But ito, goods lang, cost of sales, cost of goods sold, same lang yan sila. So yun, since cost of goods sold na siya, kasi nabenta siya properly. So in that case, mag-i-increase or magdi-decrease ang iyong, yeah? Kasi similar lang dito, lagyan ng logic, ito, suppose ito yung ending inventory magdi-decrease, so mag-increase ang cost of sales. Ang beginning inventory magdi-decrease, so mag-increase yung magdi-decrease yung cost of sales. Yeah? Baliktad lang nangyari dito, baliktad lang. So ibaliktad nyo rin din. Ending inventory nag-decrease, so mag-increase yung cost of sale. Nag-increase ang cost of sale, bababa ang revenue, kaya negative. Ngayon, yung ending ng ending ng 2018, beginning ng 2019, so ang beginning nag-decrease, so cost of sales tataas. Ang beginning nag-decrease, so ang cost of sales magdi-decrease din. So kaya dito positive. Ngayon itong tricky dyan. Ito yung tricky dito, ang letter D. Bakit? Kasi para siyang letter B, pero walang answer. Walang nilagay dito. Bakit kaya? Kasi same siya sa letter B, ang situation eh. Almost. A supplier sold merchandise valued at 14,000 to X mo na mismo na incorporated. So the merchandise was shipped FOB shipping point on December 29, 2018. So shipping point. So dapat kasama yan siya. And was received by X mo na mismo na on December 31. So dapat kasama siya sa 2018. However, the purchase was recorded in 2019 and the merchandise was not included in the 2018 ending inventory. So bakit yan? Bakit yan hindi nasama? Bakit yan hindi nasama? Ano ang naging reason? Anong naging reason? Bakit wala siya dito? The purchase was recorded in 2019 and the merchandise was not included in the 2018. Okay. So ganito yan. Nag-cancel out silang dalawa. Kasi kung titingnan mo dito, ba't to siya bumaba? Kasi kung titingnan mo dito sa letter B, the purchase was recorded properly in 2018. So walang problema. Pero hindi lang siya nasama sa counting ng ending inventory. So kaya dito, yan lang. Kasi dito ang problema, dalawa. The purchase was recorded in 2019 when it should be recorded in 2018. Tapos hindi pa nasama sa ending inventory. So dalawa yung problema dyan. Yung dalawang problema na yan, nag-cancel out sa isa't isa yan sila. Nag-cancel out yan sila sa isa't isa. So paano yan nag-cancel out? Yeah? Similar dito, lagay natin. BI, purchase, EI, ending inventory, wala na space, and cost of sales. So ano nangyari dyan? Tiyan mo, purchase, the purchase was recorded in 2019 where it should be recorded dung 2018. So with that said, mag-i-increase yung purchase dapat for 2018 kasi dapat 2018 siya eh. So pag nag-increase yan, anong magiging effect sa cost of sales? Tataas, di ba? Tataas. So kung tataas ang cost of sale, bababa ang revenue, bababa ang income. Pero hindi lang yan naging effect eh. Bakit? It was also not included in the 2018 ending inventory. So yung ending inventory mo, tataas rin yan siya. Alam naman natin, di ba? Pag nag-increase ang ending inventory, ang cost of sale bababa. Yeah? Ito, ang purchase nag-increase, cost of sale, tataas rin. Ang ending inventory nag-increase, cost of sale, bababa. So, nag-cancel out sila. Nag-cancel out. Di ba? Similar rin dito. Ganyan yung magiging effect. Nag-cancel out rin dito sa 2019. So, since nag-cancel out sila, wala kang i-record. O wala kang ilalagay dito. May i-record ka, obviously, pero yung magiging effect niya, wala, kasi nag-cancel out sila. O kaya dito, ganyan. So, add mo na lang, bang, 923 for 2018, ang adjusted income before taxes. For 2019, it's 885. So, yun, nag-get siya, di ba? Nag-cancel out sila, Nag-cancel out. So, with that said, yan yung discussion natin for additional material, assignment ng audit of inventories. So, 885. So, bye-bye. Love you.